Hey, happy third year anniversary. This is my third year playing guitar. And I wanted to start it off with a little warm up jam I created. Just like a warm up jam to get my hands warmed up, left hand, right hand type stuff. Down tune, of course, being that we're metal and everything. Um, and this is the first guitar I bought in my entire life, this ESP Eclipse. And the reason I bought it was when I was learning guitar, I wanted a guitar that was comfortable to play, and it seemed like to reach the fretboard and notes, before I got into too many advanced lessons, it seemed the best, and it looked like a Les Paul, and I thought Les Pauls were awesome. And a lot of my favorite musicians like James Hetfield play ESP, Kirk Hammett. James Hetfield plays a custom version of this guitar, and a lot of metal bands, rock bands play Les Pauls and these type of ESPs. Marty Friedman even has a Jackson version of this at some point. But anyways, my third year, and I'm dedicating this video to my mother, who tragically passed away a year ago. I was at work. It was really difficult. I didn't get to make her funeral because my father would not let me attend her funeral. Really don't want to go into it. It's just a real painful experience for me, and so I'm dedicating this video to my mother and a lot of music and stuff like that. So my dedication, and well, getting into family drama and all that crap, I don't want to bore you with. So I think just dedicating my music and my writing and stuff to my mother is the best I can do. She's gone. I can't bring her back, and even though I missed the funeral, it wasn't like I wanted to miss it. I didn't know when it was, where it was, how to get there. I called the funeral home. They wouldn't let me attend. My father basically disowned me and wouldn't let me go to the funeral. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I guess I don't have to go there. I didn't want to create a scene and show up and have the cops arrest me and go off on somebody. Really want to get in a fist fight with my father or any family members. That wouldn't be a fun thing. So anyways, they say you can pick your friends, but you can't pick your family. I love my mother. She was the best mother I could have. She passed away young at 67 from heart failure. They don't really know what caused it. Basically, she dropped dead all of a sudden, kind of a metal thing. So anyways, kind of a little metal riff to fit the occasion of my mother's passing or whatever I created. So what I've learned, and especially now the age of COVID, I've had to self-teach myself a lot. I took lessons off and on for a couple years. Had some really good teachers, Mike Burgerello, Greg Vaughn were really good teachers I had in San Diego. And then also had a really good teacher, Scott, at Skips Music. He's a metal rock guitarist. He's really good. But with COVID, I couldn't take private lessons anymore. And then I broke my ankle. Which has made playing difficult. I've worked around it, and trying to take care of that. Those kind of things. And just the one thing I learned over the last 3 years of playing guitar is being patient, taking breaks is okay, and relaxing when you're playing. I remember Mike Ruggiero gave me a few really good tips. My first story taken one is relax. So there's a lot of, you never want to play with tension because you'll hurt yourself. And there's a book I bought, I'm trying to think of the name of it, it talks about that. So you always want to, make sure you don't play with tension. If you can't play fast, it's okay. Slow down and make sure you can play. It will come. Just use a metronome and slowly practice. And speed isn't everything. Melodic is more important to me at this point. And of course, tuning your guitar. I have a bunch of tuners. And then, of course, finding a guitar that fits you. Once you've taken a few lessons, you'll find out I like Super Strats the best. I have a Jackson Custom I love. And just don't just buy tons of gear. I found I've had different guitars, and I sold a couple I wasn't really meshing with. I've kept this one because I like it, and it's served me well. Even though I prefer Super Strats most of the time, this is a really good rhythm metal guitar with the EMG pickups I like a lot. And then as far as amps go, you can just get a cheap practice amp to start with. I live in an apartment, so I sold my big amp. I had a big amp, PV amp. I couldn't use it. Right now, what I found is I really like this Engel Iron Ball I've had for over a year now. I like that. It can go from 20 to 1 watt, and it's got headphones, and it has good distortion and gain on it. I mean, I can play anything. If I'm playing and that's only a 1 watt. So, I mean, that's 1 watt. So, and it has a really good clean channel too, which I like because gain's not everything, but I like using a clean channel as well, because if I'm playing, some stuff's not always heavy duty. If I'm playing. Clean's good. And then this has a really good. I mean, this is really good for what I need for. I'm not playing stadiums, and it has a clean boost as well, which I like. And so you're not playing stadiums. You don't need a 500 watt amp. So 20 watt, 1 watt at an apartment or house is fine for recording and practice. And then the clean boost is good. And then also learning to use your neck pickup. I usually use humbuckers on my bridge pickups, but neck pickup's actually good for some stuff, if you're playing chord progression. So it's good for that stuff. And then and you can try different pickup combos when you're learning, because it's fun. You get different tones. And then this has the different knobs, the tone knobs for the pickups and whatnot. Usually I just need one, a Jackson. So that's the clean boost, which is really good. Get out of. And as far as pedals go, my down-tuned pedal and loop are probably my favorites. They're really useful. I use those quite a bit. So, the clean boost is good on my ankle because I use it for a lot of stuff. And then the other thing is, really learn songs you like to learn, and also have fun and warm-up exercises. The first one I learned was the chromatic scale. You basically just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's a good one for getting your fingers warmed up. I usually start, the first fret on the 6th string, or whatever they call it. And you can mix it up. Kirk Hammett's book, which I have, talks about a version of that where you move up a fret as you do it. And of course, So that's a good warm-up exercise, but I kind of like try to mix it up a bit because I take it with chromatic chords. So I'll put my lead gain channel back on. Let's see, put this on. So what I do, because a lot of metal songs use chromatic scales. Songs use a chromatic, and that's a good one too. The working on your slides, and another technique is not just you're picking. I like these really thick picks a lot. They're really fun for chugging. But another thing I like doing that's really useful is working on my legato. So the trills are really useful. Let me see, come closer here. So one of my first teachers, Michael Reggiarello, had me do the trills quite a bit, and they're really useful. Other thing is slides, which are really good. You can do single note slides. They're really useful because you can go, you can slide. You can create riffs that way too. Like if you do like a so you can slide, you can do different ways of sliding. You can go. Chord slides, you can power chord slide. So that gets a lot of mileage too, and of course bends. You can. What I like to do is practice bends when I'm doing like a scale like a pentatonic. See a little flavor. I mean, pentatonics are kind of bread and butter of rock and blues and a lot of stuff like that. And so that's good. That kind of stuff. You can practice bends different ways. You can do you can use your pinky. I try to use my pinky a lot. That's one thing a lot of musicians. A lot of guitarists don't do. And vibrato, so you can use your support fingers. That's the thing I learned. So I'm not sounding as clean or perfect because I'm in the process of still, getting my guitar playing warmed up. But in my third year, showing, things I've learned and so forth. Other thing too is diatonic scales. Those are really useful for practice and creating melodies. So if I do this slow. Right, so my last teacher, Scott, had me work on those quite a bit. Mix it up. I like to combine diatonic with pentatonics, and create my own riffs that way. So if I want to do something like, course, effects, you can do pick scrapes, which are good. You take the pick, and you just go. And one thing, I watched a video with Joe Satriani, one of the greatest teachers and guitarists, rock guitarists, and he's talking about it's okay to learn songs, but eventually you want to create your own stuff so you don't sound like everybody else. So I've been playing this is like my third year playing guitar. I like to try to, I know a few songs, I can play, most people know, and of course, but I'll take versions of my own and I mix them up with popular rock riffs, so kind of a variation, it's like. And then pinch harmonics are a lot of fun. A pinch harmonic, you want it your finger and barely have the pick exposed, and then you can near a pickup, you can hit it and you get a nice little squealy. So experimenting, so high gain is important to get that so you can easily, you can do a bend, so you can do it. So you got a nice little squealy there. Yeah, you don't want to abuse them because it sounds cliche if you do that. And then I think another thing I learned that's fun to do is harmonics. So usually, like if you look at the fretboard of the guitar, you can do. You see that like harp sound? You don't touch. You put your finger right above. It's right here, right above the fret, but you don't touch the string. You barely put your finger on it. So certain places on the fretboard are easy for that. So you can just go like. Some of you won't hear as much. And then depending on where you play, you can get different effects, different pickups too. So that's kind of cool because some songs have a lot of that, like I think it's Tornado or Soul. So. And then you can sweep. You can do like a sweep, like. So see how cool it sounds? You know, like that sucked. Anyway, you get the idea. So you can do those kind of things. So yeah, it's really good. I still have ways to go. I'm not a great guitar player yet or anything like that. 3 years is still pretty new. I'm hoping COVID ends so that I can get back into learning more. And of course, taking more lessons from different teachers and so forth. So, anyways, I'm gonna end with a quick little jam. It's my COVID jam. See you next time.